Stephanie, a wonderful, wonderful Party Groove Friday, and I've got some special friends over in the studio with me right now, people. Yes, special friends all the way from Montserrat. Good morning.
Good morning, Elektra. Good morning, St.Maarten.
Yes, I've got the Tourism Board representative of Montserrat, and they're here to tell us a lot of stuff about Montserrat. So we're going to start with you, Cherise. You know, it's been a while. I think we were together in December when you brought me over to show me the beautiful wonders that Montserrat has to offer.
Yes, it has been a while, and it's been a pleasure having you over in Montserrat.
Yes.
You and your husband and Verse. I can tell that you had a wonderful time.
Oh, yes, we did have a great time.
Experiences. So you know what we're coming to share with St.Maarten today.
Definitely.
Because you've felt it, you've experienced it, you've tasted it all yourself.
Oh, yeah. Don't talk about food. Oh, my goodness. Don't talk about that's like home cooked food everywhere. It was just yum, yum, yum.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
today.
you know, it's a great pleasure to have you. You also have your colleague, Shanae. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Well, you liking St.Maarten so far?
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
Nice,
And you guys have been here for the Smart event that's been going on, right? Tell me, how did that go for you all?
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been a great experience. It's our second year since we've taken a break earlier after COVID. And it's been wonderful to be in front of the tour operators, travel agents that would have been invited to the events, you know, liaising with our counterparts,
Of
the other
course.
tourist boards, you know, getting that message out there, because there's a lot of tour operators and travel agents that don't know what Montserrat has to offer.
They have a lot to offer.
Yes, we do. Yes, and even with the hotels, even with the tourist boards, letting them know that now Winier is traveling.
Yes.
That now you have an additional product that you can add to what you're already offering.
Correct.
So your guests can spend a couple of days here in St.Maarten, and then they could pop over to Montserrat and spend a weekend and come back.
That's
and
right.
They have a 2-for-1 experience. So that's one of the messaging that we've been passing on throughout the time that we've been here at Smart, and it's been well received. We've got a lot of connections that were made, so we're looking forward to going back and following up on these connections.
Of course.
So that we can build and put bums in seats and heads in beds.
But you know, that's the good thing about these types of events, that it gives you an opportunity to network, to build your relationships, to talk about your product and let them know. And you know, I can talk of first-hand experience. I mean, just going down to Plymouth, I mean, that whole experience.
Yes,
I mean,
incredible.
driving through it, hearing the rich history. But I must say to you, Cherise and Shanae, Montserrat was very advanced.
Yes,
I feel, comparing to the history that I heard, comparing to St.Maarten and the neighbor, you guys were like way ahead of us.
We were. We had a lot of offshore banks back then.
Yes.
So we had cruise ships docking in Plymouth. You know, we had many restaurants.
Yes.
Accommodations. We were going places. Elektra.
But you also hosted one of a very popular recording studios where the Beatles and all these top artists would come and record, no?
Yes. Well, Sir George Martin discovered Montserrat.
Yes.
And loved it and said, you know, I'm going to build an AS Studios here. And he did, and he invited his friends, Sir Elton John, the Police, Paul McCartney, you know, Dire Straits, even our very own Arrow, Feeling Hot, born and bred Montserratian.
Montserratian,
yes. He also recorded at AS Studios in Montserrat, and it was a wonderful place for them because of the fact that they can move around us, the locals, and nobody bothers them.
Yes.
They're not harassed. They're not worried about being mugged or anything like that. They just integrated themselves with us, and we treated them like family.
Definitely.
So they loved it there.
Now, of course, Montserrat has about what, like 4,000 or 5,000 people, Shanae?
Yeah, just under 5,000, 4,003 around.
And of course, you guys have been building, because maybe some people don't know, but the eruption of the volcano. Maybe tell a little bit about that and how that impacted, Montserratians that had to leave and then come back. Tell us about that.
Okay, so the volcano started erupting in 1995.
Yes.
I wasn't able to witness the volcano, and, Cherise will tell you a bit about how it impacted the people of Montserrat. But we were able to turn that tragedy into one of our tourism products. And today, like you would have experienced yourself, we offer guided tours into Plymouth, our buried city, where visitors can actually come and experience and see all the devastation that would have happened to our former capital of Plymouth.
Yes.
And I think that is a very immersive experience, and persons get the chance to actually, probably even feel how the locals felt and understand how a sad time it was. Because like you would have seen, you saw buildings that were buried. We have 5-story buildings, and now you can only literally see the top,
the roof
of it. Yeah. So it was a very hard time for Montserrat, but we've tried to turn it into a product that persons can actually now appreciate.
Now, jumping into what you just said, as I had that immersive experience of having a guided tour, and we got to the gate, and then it was like, okay, we're entering, Plymouth, and our driver, he had to be connecting with the volcano observatory all the time, and I was like, I felt like I was in a twilight zone. No, but it was very exciting, but also very like, oh my goodness, it's like you can't wrap your head around it, especially like when you say we're standing here at a 5-story building at the roof, and you still see ruins of things and buildings, and it was just like mind-boggling, I find. But it was such a great experience and so much rich history. Amazing. Truly amazing. But Cherise, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the displacement of, what that was like back in the day, how the people would have to leave and evacuate. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so as Shanae mentioned, the volcano started in 95. Yes, I was around then. I was a little girl.
Yes.
So for me, the volcano was this big monster on top of the hill that just intrigued me, and I wanted to learn more about it. When I would visit my grandmother, I would look up at it and I would talk to it, and I'd be like, please glow for me, let me see you glowing, because where we lived in the village of Corkhill, the mountains around us, we can't see the volcano from there. So my grandmother now lived in Harris's, which is much closer to the volcano, so you could have seen what was happening, the dome growing and all of that stuff. So I always was intrigued by it, and I wanted to see it glow for myself. But in terms of displacement, I had to leave my home in Corkhill. I mean, I'm going to backtrack a little bit just to give a little story.
Yes.
There was one day when we were living in Corkhill that my mom went into Plymouth, and she left us at home as children. I was old enough to look for my siblings, and we had an eruption at the time, and I ran to close the shutter windows.
Yes.
And the force of the lightning, you actually felt it as you were closing.
The lightning?
The lightning.
Wow.
And then when we had really bad eruptions, and where the ash cloud would block out the sun, you can't, all of us in this room, and you would not be able to see each other. It's that dark.
Wow. It's unimaginable.
Yes.
It's really unimaginable to see that. And I mean, being there, and I got to go to the wow lookout point. Yes, the wow view.
Yes.
And you're like, the volcano is like right there, and you're seeing it like right there, and then you look down and you see Plymouth. It's like this whole sheet covering a whole town of history and culture. It's just weird.
And that's one of the reasons why we say Montserrat is growing.
Yes.
Because every time it rains, that material that you see at the flanks of the volcano is washing down into Plymouth and other areas, and it's actually expanding our shoreline. So Montserrat is 39.5 square miles on the books, but we are still growing because there are materials that we haven't, areas that we haven't even measured yet.
Wow.
We have deltas in the east, we have deltas in the south, and deltas is added land that we received from the volcano. Even Road Beach, that we are going to be having a very big event there. Sinead will speak on it.
Yes.
The shoreline of Road Beach right now that we're partying on was actually water before, but now we have people. We are building there. We have a golf course in process.
Nice.
There, so we're using the devastation to turn into opportunities.
Correct.
And I also want to extend the fact that Plymouth had 4,000 people that lived there, and many of those had to leave when the volcano erupted.
So many of them were evacuated, like to England?
They went to England, went to
United States,
the Caribbean, and they've started life all over again. So yes, we have a population now of 4,000, but can you imagine that was a town that was 4,000
Imagine.
So we've lost a lot of people when the volcano erupted. And yesterday was a very significant day for the island of Montserrat, because on the 25th of June 1997, we lost 19 lives when the volcano erupted.
Okay.
So it was a somber day for us in Montserrat.
I can imagine.
Because, remembering it all over again.
Of course.
The plume of ash and all of that. And we had to pay our respects to those lives that were lost, But life continues. Life continues, and we are still living in Montserrat. I mean, back then the population went down to 1,500, and we've had our guests, our family from the neighboring islands who came to Montserrat and lived with us and helped to bring our population numbers back up. So we have to give thanks to even the region, because without them, we probably wouldn't have a Montserrat today, because our people left.
Yes.
And they came and built the numbers up.
I can imagine. And a lot of people that were living in Plymouth, you had to then move to the other side of the island.
Correct.
So now that side of the island has become the new town, and all the businesses that were in Plymouth moved now to where you are now.
Yes.
Well, I must say to people out there, if you've never been to Montserrat, I mean, it's a somber thing that happened with the eruption of the volcano, and there's a volcano observatory over there watching and monitoring everything. It's like you're watching a movie, and you just see this big mountain. And I was so happy that the day that we were there, the weather was so clear, so you could really see, how ginormous this volcano is.
The dome of the volcano.
It's just wow. And they're just constantly monitoring everything that's going on. Now, Sinead, you want to tell us about the new activity that's going to be happening in Montserrat?
Sure. So in Montserrat, we have one carnival and couple festivals. So we have our carnival that is held in December.
Yes.
From the middle of December, which you would have been a part of.
Yes.
Up
It was
until
very
the New
nice.
Year. So, we have our soca and calypso. We have our Juve, our street parade. We have our St. John's Day.
And the Calabash Festival.
And then we have our Calabash Festival that is coming up. That's in July.
Okay.
This year is from the 18th to the 26th of July.
Okay.
We celebrate our arts and cuisines. We also have the event that Sharice was talking about is a very big one. It's called Cala Splash.
Cala Splash.
Yes, which is a beach party, which everybody comes to, wear their swimsuits, their bikinis, their trunks, and they come on out, and we have a big beach party on the beach. And actually this year, we are having a local band from Antigua called Caution Band. I don't know if you know it.
Yes, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so Caution Band is actually going to be in Montserrat for Cala Splash this year.
Nice.
That's a big event that's coming up, as well as, our Produced in Montserrat Expo, which is everything produced in Montserrat is shown at our local trade show.
Nice. So the tourism board, of course, in collaboration with local promoters and creatives, are doing things to really bring back up that tourism product so that people can come over and experience all the beauty and niceness that Montserrat had to offer. One thing that stayed with me while I was in Montserrat was the quiet. The quietness of it all. It was so relaxing and serene, and sitting on those black sand beaches was just something like magical.
Yes.
It was just magical. Your feet
And you
in
had
the sand.
a beach to yourself, Elektra. don't
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody was on it. But it was so like you're in a different place. I can't put my finger on it, but it's an experience, and I would recommend anybody. You want to do a romantic getaway, get to know your significant other, Montserrat. Anything else that you would want to share with us that you feel like, we need to know with regards to why people should come over to Montserrat, Cherise?
Okay, well, added to the volcano and the Buried City tour,
Yes.
we do have hiking, we have scuba diving, we have snorkel with turtles,
Yes.
we have turtle watching, we have coastal tours where you can see the volcano from the sea.
Yes.
And there's a village called St. Patrick's that was actually washed out to sea completely. That on that tour, they take you down, that you can actually see that area that's been devastated completely.
Wow.
And then you come back up to our only white sandy beach. You mentioned the beaches. We have only one white sand beach, and that's Rendezvous Bay.
Yes.
You can only access it via a kayak or a boat. And you also have the black sand beach, which we call Ebony from the Air Studios time, Ebony and Ivory.
Yes.
So the majority of our beaches are black sandy beaches. And as you mentioned, many a times it's only you and nature, because the beaches tend to be quite empty.
Yes.
And I'm going to let Shanae just speak on St. Patrick's because we missed it coming up before.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so we have our St. Patrick's Festival that is held every March, and it's normally 10 days from the 7th to around the 17th.
But your island is the only island that celebrates it besides like say for instance Ireland or
As a
in
public
America,
holiday.
a public holiday, right?
Yeah.
It's a big event over in Montserrat.
It is. It's a huge event. We have a number of activities that happen during the week. It's normally a week jam-packed, jam-filled with activities. No sleep. It's fete after fete after fete after fete.
And everybody's wearing green?
We wear green, and we also celebrate our African side of it as well. So we do wear our African prints and our madras during that time as well.
Nice.
So we do celebrate our Irish heritage, but as well as our African. As in 1768, the slaves, while the plantation owners were out drinking, expected to be drunk, the slaves actually tried to revolt and run away.
Yes.
However, it was failed attempt, but during St. Patrick's, we celebrate their efforts and their bravery to set us free.
Is that Kudrow Head? Is one of the slaves connected? No.
It's alleged that Kudrow is one of the slaves that would have fought back in the day.
Okay.
But we don't have
Proof. Okay, so it's like a kind of myth. So, like we don't know, but people still talk about that story.
Yes, it's part of our history. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. Well, of course, St. Patrick's Day, the Calabash Festival, they have Carnival in December, and the Calabash Festival, and then you have the new one that's coming right now.
That's an event during the Calabash Festival.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And of course, people, there's so much to do, and don't talk about, but wait, Cherise, we didn't talk about the food. Please, let's talk about the food in Montserrat.
But Elektra, you're already doing a good job talking about the food.
But maybe you can tell us, the food, the goat water.
Oh, goodness. Don't get me started on the goat water. But of course, I must say it is our national dish, the goat water. And in Montserrat, you get it every Friday and every Saturday. You're bound to get goat water. And it is the best in the Caribbean. And I'd say that unapologetically. The best.
Well, I must say for that weekend that I was there, I ate really well. Like big plate of food, like home cooked, like fresh, like, oh my God, it was delicious. It was really yummy.
And Montserrat, because we have a lot of other Caribbean islands that have moved to live with us, I mean, residents who have lived with us, they bring their cuisine as well. So you can have Indian if you want to have Indian. You can have the traditional English if you want at Old Western House. You can have Jamaican, you can have your jerk on a Friday. So you have a good mix of food that are available in Montserrat that you can please your palates with.
That's for sure. Well, ladies, it was a real pleasure to have you here with us in St.Maarten, and feel free to visit us anytime. Of course, you fly over to Montserrat on Winair. And I think you were also mentioning you're working on building your harbor and a ferry system and all of that. How is that going?
Well, the port project, it's been paused for now.
Okay.
They've had some issues and the government is trying to sort it all out.
All right.
So that's on hold for now, but we still accept cruise ships.
Yes.
They dock out in the water and then they use tenders and they come in to land the passengers for now until we resolve our port and we get our port building.
For sure.
In terms of ferry, there's supposed to be a ferry tender coming out hopefully by the end of July for ferry services. So we are hoping that by Christmas we have ferries running in between Montserrat and Antigua. And although we have this service with Winair, we do have flights that come from Antigua to Montserrat.
Okay, great.
And we have a locally grown airline, Fly Montserrat, and we have SVG Air that offers twin otter services into Montserrat as well. And that's 15 minutes from Antigua. You have 30 minutes from St.Maarten with Winair.
Yes. Well, now you know how to get to Montserrat. Just 30 minutes with Winair and you're there. And I'm telling you, it's like an island, like fantasy island. So thank you, Shanae, for coming and sharing about your beautiful Emerald Isle. And of course, Cherise, thank you so much for coming. And again, enjoy St.Maarten. Enjoy St.Maarten. And, tell all your friends that you meet here, the wonders that Montserrat has to offer. Last words, Cherise?
Just to say, if persons would like additional information, they can visit our website, visit Montserrat.com. And Chine, you can repeat because my voice is not the best.
Okay. So if you are looking for more information or travel inspo, you can visit our website at visitmontserrat.com, or you can follow us on social media. That's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, on Island of Montserrat. And don't forget that Winair is flying on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays directly from St.Maarten to Montserrat.
All right.
And we didn't mention accommodation. So if you do need accommodation, do check out our website.
For sure. All right. That's going to do it for us. The tourism office from Montserrat. Beautiful isle. You should visit.